Namaste. Diwali is around the corner, which means sweets and treats everywhere. Today we are going to learn to make the simplest sweet for which you don't need to be a rocket scientist, and it's made with supermarket ingredients. Just one packet of coconut flakes, one whole can of condensed milk, some cardamom, and a couple of tablespoons of ghee. The only thing you have to remember is that the coconut flakes and the condensed milk have to be exactly the same weight. That's all you need to know, because they have to be added in equal quantities. Along with this, we're also going to need some crushed cardamom, or you can use cardamom powder, and we will need a couple of tablespoons of ghee as required. Let's get this process started. Take a non-stick pan. Yes, you do need a non-stick pan for this, and combine the condensed milk and the coconut flakes into the pan. Keep on stirring at regular intervals. The heat is set to medium-low. Keep stirring this till it comes together. So first it will be a little bit resistant, after which it becomes nice and flowy and fluid. And then finally it combines into a fudge-like consistency. After about 3 to 4 minutes, it starts to combine and come together. At this point, you can add the cardamom and continue with the process of stirring it and mashing it down, mixing it well with the back of your spatula. I'm using a silicone spatula because I think that it gives me best results with a non-stick pan. I also try to keep different spatulas for my sweets and savories because, of course, I don't want my sweets to smell of curry. But most people that use silicone spatulas say that the smell does not transfer to sweet things, but I still like to keep them separate. Anyway, so this is about 3 to 4 minutes into the process, and you can see that it starts to come together. Also, keep scraping the sides of the pan so that all the creamy stuff that is getting deposited on the side of the pan does not caramelize, and you can actually just mix it right back into this fudge that you are trying to create. The name of the dessert is coconut barfi, but you can also make it like balls and call them coconut laddus. The process is exactly the same when you're trying to cook it. So see how it starts to change color a little bit. It's become a slight beige sort of a color, and you can see that the sides of the pan are no longer scrapable and the mixture gets tougher and tougher, but it does eventually come into the shape of a ball or dough that you can bind together with the back of your spatula. Be very careful. This mixture is extremely hot. Now this is about 7 minutes later and it's ready to get plated. We have to shape this. If you were making laddus or balls, you would allow it to cool for just a few seconds till it's warm enough to handle. And then you would grease your palm and make little golf-sized balls, which would be called laddus. In this case, I'm going to make barfis or squares, and for that I will use a brownie pan. So I'm just scraping everything. I've emptied the contents of the pan into a dish, and I've added a little bit of ghee. You can also use coconut oil. Here is a brownie pan that I've taken and I've greased it. I've lined it with parchment paper and I'm transferring the contents. What? See what happens? I just broke my spatula. All right, well, I have another one for my sweets, but I think I'm going to start using a wooden one now. So anyway, stuff happens all the time. It's called life. So yes, after the broken spatula situation, we have graduated to the wooden spatula. You can also do it with your hands, but be very careful because this mixture is super duper hot. And you have to spread it when it's hot. Don't wait for it to cool because then it becomes tight and tough and very hard to spread. So the warmer it is, the more spreadable it is. Just press it down gently into the edges and make sure that it's an even thickness and an even height across the corners of the brownie pan. And then if you need to add some ghee to increase the flow of the spatula against the surface of the fudge, you can do that. If you feel like you don't need it, you can totally skip it and just brush it down, pat it down with your hands or with the back of your spatula. Also, I'm adding a little bit of ghee because I want to put the nuts, and I want to put some coconut powder for final garnish. So I'm going to take some coconut powder. This is unsweetened, and I've added some food coloring, which is yellow. You can use any color of your choice, but I feel like the yellow really gives it that festive pop. You can also use gold foil, edible gold foil for your sweets. It looks really nice. So yes, so I'm gonna add a couple of drops of ghee and just a little bit of, just a spritz of water to activate the color and get it going, and to color all the coconut flakes with the beautiful, brilliant yellow color. So perfect for Diwali. Now I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle it on top.
Hello, my lovelies. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, all my Instagram family. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. What's the matter? Am I not going to cook anything? Oh my God, what is going on? Am I not going to cook anything today? This is scary. No, we are going to cook something, but I had to go ahead and do some prep ahead of time because what I'm about to show you is a summer special. I did not know that it was going to start raining and the weather would change, but I was actually preparing to bring you something that is an absolute must have in summer heat. And sometimes we buy it from the store, sometimes we crave it in the middle of the night. Any guesses what I'm talking about? Let me make it easier for you. We are going to talk about making some ice cream, and not boring vanilla or strawberry or chocolate. We are actually making tropical inspired. Yes, we are making mango, cardamom, almond, cashew ice cream right at home, right? So this was my first time actually making it, and I was very pleased with the results. So I thought that I should share the simplicity of it. It was really mind blowing. So without any further ado, let's jump right to the recipe. I am going to cue up all these camera angles so y'all can see what is going on. This is apparently the simplest thing ever. Okay, so for this recipe, we need some very basic supermarket ingredients. We need, ta-da, condensed milk. We need heavy cream, and I'll show you what it looks like when you buy it in the store. So this is what we're using. You can use any brand, right? So this is what we're going to use. And we are going to use mango puree. It could be any brand, okay? Now this already has sugar in it, so no need to add additional sugar to this recipe. We are also going to go with our traditional cardamom powder, which is just pods of cardamom that I've ground up at home. And I've used some nuts. So you can use nuts of your choice. You can use pistachio, you can use almonds. Now, you'll be ridiculously surprised. So this is a no cook ice cream. You don't need to cook anything. You don't need to boil anything. You don't need to simmer the milk. You don't need to do any of that stuff. So really simply how it goes is you're going to take a very, very cold bowl. So take a bowl, chill it in your fridge, and in that you're going to put this. So let me just show you the difference in the consistency. When it's actually in the carton, this is what it flows like. I hope you can see. You see this? That's what the consistency is. But when you whip it and beat it, just beat it, this is what it becomes. So it's nice and it has peaks. You can see it's nice and fluffy. It's almost like shaving foam, right? It's nice and fluffy. Now, personally, I don't have a double beater. You know, the kind of beaters that they have for cake beating. I only have this balloon whisk. But the good thing is I have two speed attachments on this. So I did the low attachment, the low speed for a few seconds, and then I bumped it up to the high speed, and this was ready in no time. So we are going to take 1 cup of this cream, 1 cup, and then whip it, and it becomes this. To this, we are going to add half a cup of condensed milk. Okay, again, whip it again. And then the final star of the show is 2 cups of this mango puree. You can use fresh mangoes, but you would have to calibrate the sugar. In this situation, you don't have to worry about how much sugar you have to put because this is already pre-sweetened. Okay, you're going to do that. You will whisk all of them together, so there's no cooking, there is no reducing the milk and doing anything on the stove top. You are going to be left with a glorious golden color liquid that is very easy to flow. Then you're going to take your silicone spatula and put it into containers. I have done the exact measurement that I showed you right now. Yes, so the recipe, Rani, the recipe is we need 1 cup of heavy cream, we need half a cup of condensed milk, and 2 cups of mango puree. That's about it. So one, two, and half, or two, one and a half. So however you want to remember it, okay? And I can send you a written recipe after we're done. And then, of course, cardamom is however much you like it. If you like cinnamon in your ice cream, put cinnamon. If you like cardamom, put cardamom. If you like vanilla, put vanilla. Make it your own. All right. And then I actually had to do this ahead of time. So I did it at 10 this morning so I could show you what it actually looks like. So this needs a freezing time of about 8 hours. And I did it at 10. So currently, so it's kind of halfway there. You see, like if I put my spoon into it, I can scoop it. You see that? And if I tell you the exact yield on this whole thing, just that combination that I told you made about 1 quart of ice cream. Just these simple ingredients, right? And I've used a combination of slivered almonds and cashews, which I had lying around at home. I have not used, I've not roasted them. I've not used anything special. And also, I did not need to use any mango essence. If you're using fresh mangoes and you want that Indian mango taste, then you might need to use mango essence from the supermarket. So how you freeze it, the box should be airtight so that there is no crystallization of any moisture. And then cover it with foil wrap. So that also prevents the crystals from forming. That's that. And the other thing that I did was I made it in this little thing. This is traditionally how kulfi is served in India, and it's called matka kulfi because this is like a terracotta pot. And again, this was frozen at the same time that went in. So I'm just going to show you what the texture looks like now. So it's kind of halfway there, right? You see, it's still soft, so it definitely needs more hours in the fridge. But this is how you do it. If you like coconut, so now I'm going to talk about some variations that you can do. Let me just stick this back in the freezer before it melts out. We really don't want that. Um, yes, I told my family that they were going to get mango ice cream made at home, and they're totally looking forward to that. Of course, something has to fall from the freezer. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some variations that we can do to the simple recipe. And one of the really nice variations that you can do is to this mango ice cream mixture, you can add desiccated coconut. I think it tastes really well. It blends really well. Just make sure that it's not frozen coconut because you don't want anything with moisture into your liquid. I'm going to give this a quick taste so you can, so I can tell you what it actually tastes like. Child, it's a little too sweet for me personally. Okay, so if you're using this, it is actually as sweet as the ice cream that you get in the stores. But personally, I feel it's really sweet for me. Also, I don't do sugar, so even a little bit feels like a lot. Hi, Ruchi, welcome to making mango ice cream. But if you love the store bought ice creams and the level of sweetness, this is just the perfect amount of sweetness. It's creamy. There are no grains except for the almond bits that you get in your mouth. So if this is the base of any ice cream that you're going to make with 2 cups of cream, half a cup of condensed milk, imagine what all you can add to make it your own, right? So in this case, we added mango puree. If there's another fruit puree that you like, which is not like a frozen puree, then go ahead and use that. The minute you use frozen purees, then the moisture or the ice starts to crystallize in the freezer, and then it's not an ice cream, literally. So some of the variations that you can do are you can add cranberries, you can add coconut, like I said. You can add roasted coconut. Just make sure anything that you add has to be dry. You can actually add chocolate chips. You can add mint. You can add whatever variation you want to bring to your mango ice cream. If there is a favorite mango that you like, if there is a favorite combination with mangoes that you like, go for it. I would even probably do like a little grated carrots because I love gajar ka halwa and mango ice cream. So I would totally do that. But I'm Just a little crazy like that. Don't tell anybody. All right, so I would appreciate it if you could give it a try. There is absolutely no cooking involved, so this can be ready in no time. It literally took me less than 7 minutes to just measure everything, whisk it up, and stick it in the freezer. So it went really fast. And of course, the freezing time is the time when you really need that patience because you have to wait 8 hours before you can eat it. But life and ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. So I would recommend try it this weekend. Try to make it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. The recipe again: 1 cup of heavy cream whipped to soft peaks, 2 cups of mango puree, and half a cup of condensed milk. Again, cardamom, yes, no, depending on whether you like it or not. Nuts, again, yes, no, depending on whether you like it or not. And that's about it. And just whisk it together, make it smooth, and stick it in the freezer. You have your mango ice cream. This is what it looks like after about 5 hours of being in the freezer. Okay, and ideally it needs about 8 hours. So I did not actually put the nuts in the blend. I actually only put it on top. That's just what I did, but you can totally fold the nuts in and then freeze your ice cream batch. Okay, again, add cranberries, make it your own, add chocolate chips, add mint, add, I don't know, how about like adding Oreo cookie pieces to that? That would be nice, right? The vanilla Oreo. Hmm. Now you're giving me ideas. Okay, you know what? This was my first time ever making ice cream at home, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm gonna keep experimenting with different flavor profiles and see what I really like, because I'm out there. I have dry rose petals, so maybe I'll do something with that. I have some rose chai from Harrods in London, so maybe I'll do a chai inspired ice cream. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but for now, this is what I wanted to share with you, and I had to go ahead and do it ahead of time so that you would be able to see what the results look like. So, like I said, it's creamy, it's perfectly sweet, and it has the texture of the nuts and the almonds, and it's absolutely got a great mouthfeel. The cardamom is not overbearing at all. You still very much taste the mango, and you don't need any complicated tools. You just need this gadget, or if you just have the hand whisk, that should do as well. Like always, if you'd like to take a class and learn all this, you can do that on queenscurrykitchen.com. If you'd like to get a book that I wrote, that's also available there. I also have a line of spices that can make your Indian cooking journey very, very easy. It's called Easy Curry Spice Blends. No chopping, no measuring, just take it, put it in your pan, and you have the best tasting curry. So this is what I can offer, and I offer it with my utmost love. This week is also free samples week at Queen's Curry Kitchen. So if you go into the few last couple of Instagram posts, you'll be able to see what free samples we're offering. We're happy to ship them to you. Priority. So you can taste some of the things that we make. Even though you don't live in New York, you can still have access to the beautiful, amazing food samples made with love. All right, so with that, I'm going to sign off. But it was really nice being with you, Ronnie Ramprasad. I do ship to Toronto, but then the shipping would be a little bit different, and I can actually look into that. And if you can send me your address in the DM, Ronnie, I will be happy to look into the shipping, and I'll share that information with you. And as long as you can pay the shipping, the samples are free this week, so there's no charge for the samples. Okay, and I can let you know what the shipping to Toronto would be, and I think we're well on our way. So maybe you should get more samples so that you don't have to worry about paying for shipping again, right? So please DM me your address and I'll be able to help you out there. Like always, be blissful, be flavorful, have a wonderful weekend, you guys. I know it's getting wet and damp and you may not see the sun and it doesn't seem like summer, but I hope that this sunshine, this little piece of sunshine, this little mango ice cream can brighten up your day, it can brighten up your dessert plate, and that you can bring your family to the dinner table so that you can all sit around and enjoy a good meal. A happy meal is not what McDonald's is selling. No offense. I mean, there's a place for McDonald's. But a happy meal is when everybody's gathered around the table, whether you have big kids, small kids, college kids. I have a college going kid. And truly, the meals we enjoy is when we're all sitting down and eating. It could be the simplest thing, but the fact that we're all together, everybody's laughing, talking about their day, I think that's what makes it really, really important. Also, kids nowadays are really struggling because they are closed behind their doors, and parents sometimes forget, because we're also working from home, we forget that they need our attention. So please pay attention to your children. A lot of them are going through a lot of mental stress and a lot of uncertainty about what their future is going to be. So whether they graduated recently or whether they're looking for a job and don't know where to look. So please help your children out. If you know any young people in the community who can really benefit from you giving them like an internship or a summer job or babysitting your kids, please do that. It really goes a long way. So I have a teenager. I know how they feel and I know what they go through, but I also hear a lot of stories about other children that she knows, and a lot of those stories are not pleasant. So please, let's all try to make a difference in each other's lives. Be a little bit more kind with yourself, because you really need to start there, and have more patience with yourself. I can't tell you when it's going to be okay, but just do it one day at a time. Eat some ice cream, share something with your neighbors, smile at the doorman who opens the door for you. It's not that hard, right? I think it's all free stuff that we can do, but it can make a big difference in somebody's life. Like always, I'm absolutely from the bottom of my heart very, very thankful for your support, that you take the time to come out and hang out with me every single day. If this video brought any value to your life or it made you smile, feel free to share it. I'll be eternally grateful. You can find all these things on my Instagram page. You can find me on Facebook under Queen's Curry Kitchen. You can also find anything that you need on the website, whether it's meal plans, whether it's the spices, whether it's the book. Like always, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Take good care. Namaste. A warm good afternoon and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. I am in my little tiny kitchen in Queens, and no, we are not making curry. Welcome. Today is a special day, so Eid Mubarak to all of my friends who are celebrating today, this beautiful day of Eid. May God give everybody health and happiness, and all the sacrifices that we have made, especially in the past few months that we have gone through. I just want to pray that all the sacrifices, so this is the Eid of sacrifice. I just want to make a prayer that all of your sacrifices may be accepted by God, and that you may be uh, blessed with abundance in every realm of your life. Today we are going to make something very, very sweet and very, very special for Eid, and yes, it's none other than the sweet vermicelli, also called semia or simai, depending on whatever part of the world you are. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to just align everything so that we can all get a good look at whatever is cooking in this kitchen right now. Okay, so my computer is actually balanced on a pot. Okay, so I have some milk going. I took about 16 ounces of milk, and I'm only making a very small quantity because I made some tapioca pudding yesterday, and I don't want to have too many desserts in the house. So I've taken a non-stick pan, and you can see that it tends to, get a lot of cream and the milk skin. So you have to constantly stir this. To this, I'm going to eyeball a little bit of heavy cream. You can do this recipe as a vegan recipe, and you can make this with almond milk, coconut milk. The only thing is coconut milk tends to get really, really sweet once it boils down. And if you want a deeper, richer color, you can actually start with evaporated milk. That works really well. Okay, so we are going to add a little bit of heavy cream. If you're doing vegan, then you can totally skip this step. Now vermicelli is something that comes in a bag like this. It's a wheat vermicelli, and it's really a fine thin noodle. Sells for like $1 a bag or something. Incredibly cheap. So it looks almost like grass, right? But it's very thin and it cooks super quickly, so you don't have to boil it separately. It's not like pasta, like you don't have to boil it and then put it in a sauce. And you can make it dry, you can make it with milk, you can make it with rose water. There's like just many ways to do it. I'm just doing the very traditional way that my mom used to make it. And I'm not Muslim, but we grew up very secular and very cosmopolitan in New Delhi, and we had a lot of Muslim friends growing up. So going to their house on Eid and having a big party and wearing traditional Indian clothes like this was very common. Okay, so I'm just trying to keep a little bit of my tradition alive. So if you are celebrating Eid, Eid Mubarak to you. Let's see, M Rora05 is joining us. So welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making some Eid ki semia. Now, as far as the flavoring agent goes, if you love the taste of just the milk, you can actually leave it just as is. If you're going for a more Western approach, you can add a pinch of nutmeg to it, and that really elevates the taste. For a very Indianized flavor profile, we go with our tried and tested cardamom, and I've kind of uh, ground it very coarsely because I use it for my chai. Meenal Solani is watching. Hi Meenal, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. By the way, you did some kick-ass work with the chana masala. I saw the picture. I think it looked better than mine. So, good job. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for sharing it and tagging me on the picture. I appreciate it. So we are celebrating Eid today, and I am going to make some Eid ki semia. It's like the little simplest thing, and on days when your family is kind of not happy with whatever you put out on the dinner table, I always keep a packet of this in my pantry because this is the fastest dessert that you can whip up, and it's nice and warm, especially on a cold day when you want a little more after your food and you crave that little sweet. I always use this. So I've used about 16 ounces of regular cow's milk, whole milk. You can use 2%, 1%, whatever it is. And I've added a quarter of a cup of heavy cream. Once this comes to a boil, I'm going to take some of the vermicelli and actually just break it in and drop it into the boiling milk. It's really, there's no rocket science. It's literally the simplest thing. Usually when I make my puddings or my kheer or tapioca pearl pudding or rice pudding, I usually do it in the instant pot because I feel like you have to keep boiling the milk and it takes a minute. But this is the fastest thing. You just do it on your stove top in a saucepan and it just, one, two, three, it just goes really fast. So my mother-in-law, she actually likes to roast these in ghee before she puts it in the milk. But I just somehow don't like the ghee floating on top of the milk, so I try to avoid that step altogether. You can also dry roast it. So different people do it differently. I'm just doing exactly like how my mom used to do it or still does it. Okay, so the cardamom has gone in there. I haven't added any sugar yet. This is about 16 ounces of milk and quarter of a cup of heavy cream. If you don't have heavy cream, you can swap it out. You can skip that step. You can also make this with almond milk. You can make this with cashew milk. You can make this with rice milk. Sangeeta 699. I think I'm not seeing the rest of the numbers, but I'm seeing Sangeeta. So welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making Eid ki Senia today. I'm going to give you a couple of options in terms of flavoring. What else can you do to amp up the flavor profile of your sweet desserts, especially if you're doing any Indian inspired desserts, right? So if you're doing anything that's Eid inspired or summer inspired, a drizzle of ruh afza, which is actually, it's not exactly a rose syrup, but it has a very rose dominant flavor. You can actually do a sprinkling of that over the top, just a drizzle, whether it's kulfi, whether it's kheer. You do that, and it just has a nice aromatic hint of rose that it lends. It's super sweet, so exercise caution in drizzling it. You don't want it to overpower your dessert, and sometimes if you're not used to the rose essence in your food, it can be a little overbearing. So introduce yourself gently to it. It's usually available very easily at Indian supermarkets, so it's not hard to find anymore in America. And it's just like a bright red syrup. So you can add it, even if you add it to vanilla ice cream and add some pistachios, it actually tastes bomb. You can't imagine how much it can elevate something, right? But you have to be a lover of the rose essence in order to do that. Some people also like to add desiccated coconut to this, and again, it's your choice. I like to keep this fairly thin, okay, because I like to slurp it as a warm dessert. I don't like it thick, and also when you put it in the fridge, it sets a little bit. If you like it thicker, you can either add custard powder to this, or you can add some cornstarch slurry to it, and that works well as well. That's an option. So right now, the aromas that are coming out are very like cardamom with the toasted vermicelli flavor. Another thing that I'm going to suggest to you if you haven't tried it, which is absolutely bomb, and this takes all of your desserts to the next level. This is an essence, and it's called kulfi. Kulfi flavor, right? There you go. And this is a brand called OSSO. No, this is not a sponsored post. I just use it a lot. And this is an absolutely scintillating essence. If you like rasmalai in the restaurants that you go to, if you've ever eaten Indian kulfi and the base, like the basic kulfi, You're going to love this essence. It's very sharp and strong when it's in a bottle, but when you put a few drops of it, it absolutely totally changes the game for all desserts. And I've used it in warm desserts, I've used it in chocolates, I've used it in cold desserts like custards, and honestly, I am never going back to eating boring vanilla custard ever again. I've even actually used it in ice creams and made ice creams for my friends. I've just taken like normal vanilla ice cream and added rasmalai essence to that. And they keep asking, where did you buy this ice cream? What store did you get it from? So I'm just gonna eyeball this, just a drop. It's pretty intense, so you don't need a whole lot. And always remember, any good essence that you buy, that you pay top dollar for, it should come in a dark bottle like this. This also comes in a dark sleeve to protect it from the light, right? Whoa, like that. And then this whole thing goes inside a black box, and then it goes in a dark cabinet. So do not keep it near a source of light, or don't keep it near your stove. Just be very careful, and it's going to last you a long time. So these are a couple of things in which ways you can enhance the flavor profile of your desserts. Now you can see this is bubbling away and it's fully cooked. It barely takes a couple of minutes. I think I took more time talking than it took to come together. And in the very end, I'm going to add some sugar. I like to eyeball it. If you eat Splenda and you're sugar free, you can add Splenda. If you don't want any kind of artificial sweets or any kind of sugar bases, you don't want to do the monk fruit sweetener, you don't want to do the agave, you can absolutely add some dates to this, which is actually the traditional way of doing it as well in many households. They just add dates and that adds a natural sweetness. So my husband likes his desserts like a little bit, like tad too sweet, almost like gulab jamun sweetness, if you know what I mean. So in goes a little more sugar. I think that's enough. Okay, and to this, once I take it out in a pan to cool, I'm going to add some nuts. You can put nuts of your choice. You could put pistachio, you could put almonds, slivered almonds, you can put walnuts. Try not to put raisins in your milk based desserts, because when you put them in the fridge, then the sourness of the raisins actually makes your desserts curdle. So try to resist the urge to put raisins. Put dates instead, okay? So there you go. This is done. In a lot of places, they actually also garnish with fresh rose petals and cold foil, which I used to have, but I don't have it anymore. I promise if I'd had it, I would have totally brought it here. But that's it. That's so easy, right? So whether you're making a dessert for 2 people or 20 people and it's Eid, always have this in your pantry. It comes under a different name brands, and if you can't find it, you can always send me a PM, and I will be happy to ship it to you. It's very easily available where I live, and the expiration, it usually lasts about 3 years. So the expiration is really good. It lasts about 3 years in your pantry. Always have this on hand. This is a lifesaver, especially if you have picky children who don't want to eat anything. You can bribe them with this, right? And stick some dates in it, right? All right, so this was my semia tutorial for today. I hope you're going to give this a try. I'm probably going to put some desiccated coconut on it, just because I like the mouthfeel of coconut and I love the taste. You don't have to, but I'm definitely going to do that. I will plate it and I will put good pictures out. The time that I will see you again will probably be Monday, because tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday and I have my day off. So no live videos on the weekend. However, you can catch the replays on Facebook Watch, and you can also see the replay on IGTV with all the chats and the comments and feedback. Like always, be blissful and be flavorful. Enjoy your Eid. Be kind to your neighbors. If you know somebody who's celebrating, it doesn't cost anything to wish them a happy Eid. So we are in New York, so we love everybody. We celebrate everything, and that's why I love Queens, because that's where I live, and we have so many different nationalities here. Everybody is just, you know, happy together. So I hope that you can spread happiness in whatever way that you can for people that are around you. Until next time, be blissful and be flavorful. If you liked what you saw, or if you would like to take a class with me, go right ahead and register at www.queenscurrykitchen.com. We have classes for beginners, intermediate, and advanced levels. And I teach Indian plant-based, healthy Indian cooking with plant-based ingredients, also vegetarian Indian dishes based on your skill level. If you'd like to order the book or the spices, they're all on the website queenscurrykitchen.com. We offer free shipping all over the US. So I hope you will give this recipe a try, and I will catch you in the next one. Until then, be blissful, be flavorful, and have a great weekend, you all. Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you. I will catch you in the next one. Take good care. Bye bye.